If your child isn't talking to you about their thoughts, feelings, or what they did at school, what should you do? I spoke to Educational Psychologist Mel Jones to find out. It must happen to every parent at some time or another, having a child not talk to them about their day or their feelings. What advice can you give to a parent who's having trouble with this situation?
You're right, it is a really common one. Parents get very frustrated about the amount of information their children won't give them, particularly about school. But there's lots of reasons why children won't talk to us. Sometimes they are tired when they come home and we've not asked them at a time that they really want to talk. Sometimes they think, well, that day's finished and done with, so why do we need to talk about it and go over it again? And sometimes actually they don't really think you want that much detail. Now and again, children aren't worried about the things that adults think they should be worried about, and sometimes that can be an issue too.
Okay, so what can you do to encourage them to open up to you?
So the first thing is to think back, and this is a little bit about family resilience. So families have lots of resources, so think back to a time where your child has talked to you about something that's important. Also think about times when they've been relaxed and open and happy to talk to you, or a time where you've both laughed together and had a really good time. And what you'll find is the answers to those questions will help you think about how to address the current situation. So when will it be best? How will you start the conversation? And where would you be?
So I'm guessing asking how was your day just doesn't cut it.
No, how was your day invites a one-word answer. Fine, was all right, rubbish, depending on the age of your child really. So you need to be a bit creative here and think about some different phrases. Making children laugh is a really good way of getting them to open up. So if you can make them laugh, you can ask them, what made you laugh today? With younger children, you can surprise them and say, who got kidnapped by a gorilla today? And after they've laughed, generally they'll share something. Or who went to the moon in a rocket? And that can help too. Now with older children, they might actually twig that you're trying to get them to talk. So with older children, it's often best to just ask them about maybe how their friends are doing or something the teachers have done. So you might say, well, how did Anna get on with swimming today? I know she's really worried about it. And we call this a sliding in technique. So you talk about something that is to do with the situation, but not directly, and then you lead in from there.
Is there anything else you can do apart from just finding a good subject to talk about?
Think about how and when you're asking children. So I don't think anybody comes through the door and wants to offload everything that they've talked about. So, give everybody a chance to relax and maybe have something to eat and drink before you sort of ask those sorts of questions. Children tend to talk more when they don't have direct eye contact with an adult. So that might be whilst they're doing a different task. It might be when they're exercising, so if they're on a walk, in the car is a great time, or generally parents find that as soon as it's bedtime, children want to talk. You need to find a time when you're both free to talk and probably when the TV's off. You need to listen to your child when they talk to you and show that you're interested. And even if they seem really inconsequential or tiny things, it's important to show your interest. And really something to remember here is that if you listen to the little things, often they'll tell you about the big things.
What about teenagers? I imagine that's a hard nut to crack.
Yeah, they can be. And all of those principles, again, are really important. But really, with teenagers, it's perhaps a little bit more about planning ahead. So you will need to model more about talking about your day and talk positively about what's happened to you in the day. You need to ask another adult about their day too, so that they can see this is something that everybody does, and involve them in that conversation. And try and make it a routine that everybody in the family shares something in a relaxed way about what's happened to them in the day.